Hello, viewers. Welcome to the YouTube channel Lex Consilium Foundation. And here, this is Major General Neelendra Kumar speaking to Senior Advocate Sudhish Pai. He is an eminent law author practicing with a huge practice there in High Court at Bengaluru, Karnataka High Court. And his book, Legends in Law, you will be watching that. You can see that on this YouTube is one of the most widely read and also the only book of its type. In that, he has taken a stock of different judges, eminent top lawyers in different high courts, chartered high courts, as also other places like Allahabad High Court, judges and eminent jurists also. Now, I'm talking today to him about Sir Satish Chandra Banerji, who was in Allahabad High Court. And it is said about him in your book, Paiji, on page 160, that he obtained a first class first in the BA examination, both of Allahabad and Calcutta universities. And this performance was repeated by him for the master's degree. And thus, obviously, his entire academic record was outstanding. It's there very well elaborated in the book on page 160, but here, for the benefit of the viewers, would you like to recount it?
Yes. Dr. Satish Chandra Banerji is perhaps one of the greatest lawyers this country has known, and definitely in the Allahabad Bar. He was born in 1871. He had a very, very distinguished academic career. As you said, he topped the honors in BA literature, English literature, obtaining a first class first, both from the Allahabad University and the Calcutta University. He repeated that splendid performance for his masters in English literature, again obtaining a first class first from both Calcutta and Allahabad University. He brought out an edition of Tennyson's poem, Princess, greatly appreciated. He also brought out an edition of George Berkeley, who was an Irish philosopher and an Anglican bishop. His book on metaphysics, The Three Dialogues.
Right.
And this work of his won great appreciation in academic circles. Not content with this, Satish Chandra Banerji also brought out his own exposition on Sankhya philosophy.
Okay, Sankhya philosophy.
Sankhya philosophy, which won the acclaim of none less than Max Muller, who paid very handsome tribute.
The German scholar.
Yes, the German scholar, who is known in the Sanskrit as Moksha Ballara Bhatta.
Yes.
Max Muller is Moksha Ballara Bhatta. And he acclaimed this work of Satish Chandra Banerji and paid very handsome tributes to his talent. And all this was when he was still a student.
It's remarkable. It is something almost unbelievable.
Yes, yes.
His achievements. He is also said to be the first person, or one of the first in any case, to have got a doctorate from Allahabad University. And please, while speaking about this distinction, also do comment that at the young age of 35, he had delivered Tagore Law Lectures. Now, one of the most, or perhaps the most distinguishing features, distinction, and a matter to be proud of in those days. And this was at the age of 35. What is the significance? Why did you include these facts in your book?
Talking of Tagore Law Lectures, I must, before his professorship, I must also mention that he as a student attended the Tagore Law Lectures delivered by the great jurist Sir Frederick Pollock.
Okay.
On the subject of the law of fraud and misrepresentation. Young Satish Chandra Banerji sat for the exam and obtained the first position. But unfortunately, he could not get the gold medal because there was a shortage of attendance. He didn't fulfill the attendance criteria. He didn't have the requisite attendance. And the professor, Sir Frederick Pollock, felt very, very bad about it because he had seen the great promise and talent of the student. And he persuaded the university to give a special medal to Satish Chandra Banerji.
Okay.
That is a student. After obtaining his LLB, got his honors in law in 1900. And in 1901, he obtained the doctorate of law from the Allahabad University. he was the first, not one of the, he was the
first, yes.
first to obtain a doctorate in law from the Allahabad University. The second was about whom we have already spoken, Sir Tej Bahadur Sapru.
Yes.
The first was
He was much later.
Yeah, not very much later. They were 4 to 5 years of age.
Time span between them.
Them was about 4 to 5 years,
Yes.
and not very much later.
Yes.
But in any case, Satish Chandra Banerji holds the distinction of being the first doctorate of law from the Allahabad University. That was in 1901. And 5 years later, as you said, at the age of 35, in 1906, Satish Chandra Banerji delivered the Tagore Law Lectures. The Tagore Law Professorship, in the words of Dr. Durgadas Basu, is to be considered the pole star on the eastern horizon of jurisprudence.
Okay.
So that's the great distinction. Even today, of course, unfortunately, Tagore Law Lectures have become rarer in the Calcutta University, but it is still regarded as absolutely distinctive. And Tagore Law professors occupy a very top position in the legal fraternity. And Satish Chandra Banerji, at the young age of 35, in 1906, delivered the lecture on the subject of the law of specific performance. That is, of course, available as a book.
Yes.
And even today, 120 years now, 1906, we are in 2026, 120 years later, it is still considered a classic. And I'm tempted to read out to you an extract from the foreword to the second edition in 1917, which was by Sir Ashutosh Mukherjee.
Okay.
And this is what he wrote. The monumental work is acclaimed in legal circles as a triumph of erudition and research. The accuracy and lucidity of exposition of legal principles, which throughout characterized the work, marked it out as a contribution of enduring value. And it has remained so. Even a century later, it's regarded as something great. That was the kind of distinction that Satish Chandra Banerji had. It is rightly said that amongst scholars and writers, he
stands
very few equals and
quite tall. Yes.
No superior.
You see, as you have indicated, firstly, to top in one examination of two different universities, this itself shows not only scholarship but courage and determination, and to repeat this for the bachelor's, then for the master's degree, and not confining the education focus only on one subject or on one domain of law, going to diverse like Sankhya philosophy or Max Muller and the knowledge of Sanskrit. That shows that undoubtedly here was a genius.
Absolutely versatile.
Yes, versatile, yes.
And it was believed that with this kind of a background, he would be in the sanctuary of a university. But he proved everyone wrong because he was in the battlefield of law in the courts.
And then to do the PhD.
Yes, where also he did extremely well.
When looking at Sir Satish Banerji as an advocate, as a lawyer, you've written that it was remarked those days that he never elongated his arguments, meaning thereby that he was absolutely precise what he has to convey, and also that he could measure up that his point has sunk home. It has been understood by the recipient. Would you like to comment on this part?
He joined the bar in 1896, beginning slowly. Very soon he was at the top. His sound, profound learning of the law, coupled with his very persuasive advocacy, made him one of the most sought-after lawyers in the Allahabad bar. Yes, it is said that his arguments were all very precise. He never overstated or elongated an argument. It was absolutely pinpointed and conveyed what was to be conveyed. That shows perhaps two things. That shows the profundity of his learning, the skill with which he could articulate and put it across, and even more, the courage to stand by it. Because lesser men would try to explain it in different ways, not being sure whether the person at the other end, the judge, has understood them fully. But here was a person who was sure of himself. Yes. And what he said was sufficient to convey to the court whatever was essential.
And the confidence that he had
himself.
That
yes.
he's made the point.
Yes, he was known for his exactitude of statement, lucidity of putting it across, and very accurate. That was something top class. And he did it in case after case. The sad part of it is that lasted only for 19 years. Destiny took him away at the young age of 44 in 1915.
Yes.
So leaving us wondering what it would have been had he lived much longer.
Yes.
There's a Sanskrit, whatever Subhashita or Shloka, which translated means it's better to be a flame for an instant than smoking away for ages.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that was the kind of person who's
And
who let us-
undoubtedly, the
Yes.
readers and particularly the younger generation, when they read in your book such accounts, they would be motivated, they would be inspired
inspired.
to
Yes.
embark and repeat a similar path. Thanks very much. Do
Thank
stay
you.
with us. This conversation will continue.